Hey JJ, how's it going?
Hey Sam, how you doing?
Good, thanks. Thanks again for making the time. Yeah, to start things off, please tell us more about Beachside VR, about your brand, how you got in the industry, all that jazz.
Yeah, absolutely. We are a professional hospitality manager on the east coast of Florida. We're located in the Space Coast. We manage just about 300 units, a mix of multi-unit hotel style inventory and also single family houses.
Awesome. So, before we dive into the kind of nitty gritty of the product, I'd love to hear. I think you've been with us since December. How's your experience been so far? What have you liked about the product? Just kind of open ended. Would love to hear your thoughts.
The product has been amazing so far. It's been growing. We're always seeing new features being rolled out, which is really cool. You and the rest of the Besty team have been great in taking product feedback as well. When we as users come and say this would be an amazing feature to have, this would help our workflow a lot. It could help us earn more money. A lot of times it's built extremely quickly. So I've been super grateful for that, and really love a lot of the features, particularly the early check-in upsells have worked great for us. We've seen a good conversion rate on those, and then also our booking booster that's kind of pushed bookend reservations and filled some orphan nights for us.
Awesome. Yeah, and have you? I guess when it comes to the messaging piece, how have you rolled that out in your team? Have you been running mostly draft mode? What's the feedback been there, or autopilot? I can't remember.
Yeah, so we do all draft mode. Nothing's on autopilot right now. We do have full-time coverage with our customer service team, so they love Bestie. It helps them to auto generate a message, and then they can review it for accuracy and make sure it sounds good, looks good, and send it. What I've noticed is really convenient on the messaging side of things is that it will pull information so you don't have to go look for it. So for instance, I just saw a question come through today where somebody was asking specifics about a property, how many units were included in that particular listing, and it auto-filled the answer so that the customer service person doesn't have to go digging around in our files to look for that answer.
Nice. And just being a very tech forward, entrepreneur, I'm sure you saw this like a mile away when ChatGPT came out and the obvious use cases. What was your experience from, I guess, if we went back to just over a year ago when ChatGPT first came out to where we are today? Have you been, I guess you would have anticipated that, softwares like us would come out. What has been your kind of philosophy on this so far? Maybe prior to testing us, had you tried other apps? What was your general kind of sense of how it's being executed in the market? And then now that you've been working with us for a couple months, like what's your, I guess, overall satisfaction level, not just speaking about the product, but just when you thought of what LLMs were capable of and what you're seeing now in practice, kind of just if you could speak to that a bit more.
Yeah, I'd say it's way easier to use and set up than setting something up like this in ChatGPT. One, because it's integrated with our PMS, so it'll autofill the message directly in the system, and two, it kind of does its own training and pulls all the information out of your PMS. So if I were to try and set up something like that in ChatGPT, I would need a ton of time to set it up, and then it would still not be a direct integration with the property management system. So that's been huge. And then I'll say I did actually try two or three other AI messaging solutions before landing on Bestie. Again, I think it was partially the convenience of it. I like the integration directly with our property management system. Having that autofill right in our inbox was huge for us. And then the other one is just the ease of working with the Bestie AI team has also been amazing.
Awesome. And I know this isn't something we've been able to talk too much about as far as like releasing it and who we released it to, but I think you were one of those first users. If you could speak briefly to your experience with Copilot, knowing kind of a bit what you tried using it for, knowing that we're working on like a more established version now, but I think we had like a funny interaction where you asked it to do something and then it said this is going to be way too much work. If you could just kind of explain what it is and what you use it for, that would be really, really fun.
Yeah, so Copilot links with your property management system. And the idea is if you have something, at least the idea for me was if I had something super repetitive that I had to update on all of my listings, I could just tell Copilot to do it for me. So for instance, if I wanted to go update all of my listing titles, or in my use case, I had to add a tag to all of my listings, or I had to change a custom field on all of my listings with add a new custom field to them. And it was able to do it. It did give since it was in testing still, the AI model gave us a little pushback, but we did get it to work. So
Right. I guess just like any employee, if you give it a bunch of repetitive work, it's gonna maybe make some comment on it, but it got the job done. That's cool. Well, a lot more to come on that. I was just curious. Thanks for sharing, and that's pretty much it, man. Thanks so much for your time, JJ, and look forward to continuing to work with you.
awesome. Thanks, Sam.